Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Ignite News. I'm Loredana Bello.
And I'm Kayla Perna. This year, for the first time, Mohawk College journalism students Elaine Morris and Dyson Wells are taking over MoCast, a series that highlights the great things and great people at Mohawk.
Elaine and Dyson are taking over hosting duties from J-Rob, Mohawk's communication director. Let's take a look at the handover.
Hello Mohawk, on this episode of MoCast, the gang and I take a trip up to Norfolk.
And we also check out the 3D printing lab opening here at the college in the E-Wing, where I talked to Ross Mogridge. So I'm here with Ross Mogridge, the Chief Technologist of AMARC, and right now we're at the 3D lab opening in the E-Wing at Mohawk. So Ross, what do you think about the opening so far?
It's gone really well. We have a lot of industry partners and stakeholders that are come to the lab to see what it is we can produce and the benefits we offer to the industry. We have a lot of government officials here to see the benefits of their donations and the funding that they've raised. And we also have just a lot of curious people who are really looking to explore the possibilities of this in the actual workforce.
And what do you think the lab opening means for Mohawk College?
I think it means nothing but great news. I think it's a massive exposure. It's starting to warrant this college international recognition. We are probably the most advanced lab in Canada, if not North America. Nobody has all the machines we have together. There are certain places that have one or two, but nowhere has everything in one shot like we do. And the industry is starting to recognize this. The scope that we are able to provide from them from beginning to end and all the steps in between, they see that it's just unmeasurable, the changes this can make to their company, and we're beating them away with a stick to stop them from getting in here. So
I've already seen a few of the things that you can make with the technology, such as little chess pieces or even a ukulele.
Yeah.
What other things can you make with it?
Those are more of novelty things to kind of showcase the things we can do. Our real expertise is in a small run of extremely complex parts. Like finite analysis and structural optimization is what we specialize in. So we'll take a part, we'll load it into the computer, run simulations, determine where and how much stress is applied to it, and then we'll create more of a organic shape that you might have seen lying around the lab. So we can reduce the weight of certain parts, such as by 30%, and increase the performance up to 400%, if not more. And especially with certain partners like ComDev, when it comes to thousands of dollars per gram hoisting something into space, if we can cut 30% off of parts, that's a huge cost savings in the long run to the company.
Who will the lab be open to? Students, faculty, anyone outside of Mohawk, or is it more?
We are open to people outside of Mohawk, such as partnerships or customer relations, where we are for hire, we are a working lab. We do perform parts. Students are welcome in the lab. We tend to only allow engineering students in it. This lab is under the jurisdiction of the mechanical engineering program. We don't turn anybody away at the door if they're interested in the lab or they want to see what's going on and stuff like that. We do have certain faculty members rolling through here wondering about stuff for their program. We've produced a few models for the civil engineering department. We've done some prosthetics for health sciences and stuff like that. So we work with all different programs in the school, but this is a mechanical engineering department lab.
So we're out here in Norfolk County, about an hour's drive from Mohawk. Behind me is a substation where only Mohawk is doing this. They're performing an applied research project in energy. In the basement here, we're gonna go take a look, and I think you'll find it quite electrifying.
At the end of the research, another year from now, another year and a half, we will be able to go back to Hydro One and utilities and tell them this is what you would expect on your power grid another 10 years, 20 years from now with respect to new devices and new appliances. That will give them the ability to be proactive and start to prepare in terms of any kind of safety or filtering process or a protection process to adopt this kind of technology and to allow this kind of technology to penetrate through the grid. There is the expectation that by 2020 or 2025, 20% of our cars will be electric. The grid is not designed for this yet.
The information from the grid is collected on an on-site server.
The server will be interrogated by our central server at Funnel, and it will download the data on a daily basis.
Hello, Mohawk. On today's episode of MoCast, I got to interview Marco Felves, the coordinator of Social Inc., about Laverne Cox coming to Mohawk College.
And we take a look at the pathways for business, getting Mohawk business students future ready. So we're here with Art Dominicucci, Associate Dean for Business here at the college. Now Art, what is this new agreement that we have from last year?
It's to help with pathways with our students that go to different colleges. There's 21,000 students that transfer from one college to the next. And in the past, it was an onerous process. What we've done is we came up with an agreement that a student get full credit for a full year to transfer from one college to the next. So in essence, a student can go from 1 year at this college to the second year of another college to even a third year of a third college, and it's done easily.
What does this Business Pathways Initiative mean to students here at the college and to other colleges?
It just makes it a lot easier for students to transfer without all the paperwork that had to be done in the past. In the past, the student would finish 1 year and then they would transfer to another college, and they would have to match course for course as exemptions. And sometimes they didn't get full exemptions for their courses. Sometimes they had to repeat courses. Now they get the full year's credit. What the colleges have done is they've aligned their curriculum to ensure that this can happen smoothly, effectively, so it should cost the student less money, less grief.
Is this the first Business Pathways Initiative?
Actually, we have 4. We started off with accounting, and then we expanded to business administration, marketing, and human resources for the colleges that have that. The best part of it, all 24 colleges have signed this agreement. So we're happy, and we're going to keep on going as long as we got programs to do.
What are the plans going from here?
Well, this is right now among the college system, and ideally it would be great if we can make the pathway into universities as well. So we see that down the road, where students can go from college to university and have a smooth transition to university.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So I'm here today with Marco Felvis, professor in School of Human Services, as well as the coordinator of Social Inc. And today we're going to be talking about star of Orange is the New Black, Laverne Cox, and why you should go to her talk. What do you have to say about that?
Well, it's wonderful that Laverne Cox is able to come. As you probably know, she has had quite the splash in Hollywood and I think all throughout the world. So she is the star, as you said, of Orange is the New Black. Aside from her role at Orange is the New Black, where she plays a trans-identified inmate, she also identifies as trans herself. And I think people are really interested in the fact that she's such a real person and she has such a story to tell. She was on the cover of Times a while ago as being one of the most influential people, and she has a lot to say about a very marginalized population in our community.
So how are ticket sales going so far? Because I heard that they're very high in demand.
Yes, they're going wonderful. She cost quite a bit of money to have, and it's important to note that this is not a fundraiser. It's not a fundraiser for Social Inc. or any of our community partners. So we are really depending on those ticket sales. I'm really happy to say that we have just over 1,000 seats to sell, and at this moment we currently have sold close to 700 seats. Yeah.
That is very impressive.
That's great.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I also heard that you are selling some VIP tickets which involve a meet and greet with the star.
Correct, yeah. Laverne Cox is going to be there for approximately 15 minutes, and the VIP tickets, of which there's currently about 20 to 25 left, there are 150 altogether, and most of them have sold. So if you want a VIP ticket, that includes a $75 price, and what that includes is private meet and greet with Laverne, as well as some food stations hosted by one of our partners, the MSA. As well, it gets you some preferred seating inside of the event.
Who's sponsoring the talk?
So we have a number of sponsors. We have a couple from internal here at the college. So Mohawk College is a great sponsor, along with Social Inc., which is hosting the event, as well as our Alumni Association. And some of our external partners are The Well, which is the only agency in Hamilton that specifically supports the LGBTQ community, as well as the Sexual Assault Center of Hamilton area, SASHA. So we're quite fortunate and lucky to have such great partners for this event.
Are there any points that you're really hoping that Laverne will be talking about during the talk?
Yeah, I'm really hoping that she talks about the the cross sectionality between people of color as well as trans identified folks, and I know that she will because she lives that story. I'm really hoping that she talks about some of the stats globally and how we can kind of understand how to support people who identify as trans and not get so hung up on gender as we tend to do a lot.
So you're thinking that this talk will be breaking down a lot of the stigmas that people have
I do.
for trans people?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of people who identify as trans, LGBTQ, lesbian, gay, bi, trans community will certainly be in attendance, and they will be quite empowered by the speech. I also think that it'll attract a good population where they don't know much, but they're really good or really big fans of the show, so they will have kind of a whole new world opened up to them, which I'm really excited about.
So to bring focus on the show, is Laverne your favorite character, or do you have any other preferences?
I have to say Laverne is probably my favorite character. I didn't get connected to the show right away. It was actually through some interns that we had at Social Inc. where they said you really have to watch this show. It's not the kind of show I would typically watch, but after seeing all of the seasons, I really got connected to it, and certainly connected to Laverne quite personally.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being with us here today. And I heard a rumor that today is a special day.
It is. It's National Hug Day.
All right.
So we have to get our hug on. All right.
Hamilton Mayor and Mohawk alumni Fred Eisenberger took a tour of Mohawk. Elaine Morris has a story.
Hamilton's Mayor Fred Eisenberger came to Mohawk for a tour by President McCurley and faculty. The tour began at Aboriginal Education and Student Services, where Mayor Eisenberger was told the significance of the wampum wall. Next, Eisenberger learned about the electrical projects Mohawk is working on, as explained by Dr. Nafia Al-Mutawali. The mayor also got the chance to take a look at a prosthetic hand made on location at our recently debuted 3D printing lab, before crossing the hallway to the mHealth and eHealth Development and Innovation Center. Before moving on, Eisenberger experienced a virtual roller coaster using Oculus Rift technology. To finish off, the tour group made their way down to the fitness center to see Mohawk's upgraded facilities.
Over the past 12 years, Mohawk College has been maintaining a relationship with Six Nations.
The college was awarded a wampum belt on campus at a ceremony.
Mohawk College and Six Nations Polytechnic have partnered in program delivery to the Six Nations community for over 10 years. So today marks the celebration of that partnership with the gift of the belt from Six Nations to Mohawk College, representing that partnership. And the belt, when you get a chance to see it, has the three figures showing our two institutions and the learners in between. That represents our partnership, and I was really pleased today that Mohawk College responded in kind with a wampum belt that was designed by Ron McClester, who is an Aboriginal man working here at the college. And Mohawk is the first institution to respond in kind with a belt, which is very significant in terms of an institution acknowledging our way of documenting history and relationships and our way of doing things. So it's much appreciated and much respected.
When Six Nations Polytechnic gifted the college a wampum belt in October of last year, like my jaw literally went to the floor and was like, holy smokes, they're giving us a wampum belt. And our president, Ron McCurley, and Wayne Poirier, our vice president, were very supportive of receiving that gift. And so I had asked them, would they be interested and okay with returning, a reciprocal demonstration of respect and friendship. And if so, I'd love to, design a belt for that. And they were, and so today we were able to unveil an Indigenous interpretation of the Mohawk Student Success Plan, weaved into a wampum belt, and we gave that to Six Nations Polytechnic.
Ignite News reporter Kyle Williamson takes a look at the Oscar nominees for Best Animated Feature Film.
While most of the films deserved the nomination, others came as quite the surprise.
How to Train Your Dragon 2 is a sequel you'll actually enjoy. The film continues 5 years after the 2010 original, with the main character Hiccup reunited with his mother, just in time to try and save all the dragons from being mind-controlled. It's a relatively kid-friendly, action-packed film, with the fiercest dragons yet, and the vilest of villains. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is a fun film for all ages.
Come on, Toothless! Yeah, baby!
Big Hero 6 is a science meets superhero, action-packed animated film that is fun for all ages. The movie is about a brilliant teen who bonds with a robot after a great loss. These two, along with their gang of friends, come together to fight the masked villain who threatens to destroy their city.
A lunatic in a mask just tried to kill us.
How cool is that? I mean, it's scary, obviously, but how cool?
Box Trolls is one of the most talked about animated films of the year, but that doesn't automatically make it the best. The quirky film tells the tale of a misunderstood group of creatures known as Box Trolls, who are being rounded up because they are believed to be dangerous. But, in typical storytelling style, the danger typically lies with those who you trust the most.
Who are you, boy?
I'm a box troll.
Then let's see you fit in your box.
The Tale of Princess Kaguya is a much slower-paced film that isn't going to be popular with kids. The film is based on Japanese folklore. A bamboo cutter finds a baby in a bamboo shoot, and she grows to be a beautiful princess. The Tale of Princess Kaguya uses a story to tell the virtues of life, highlighting the importance of love, family, and how money and power aren't everything to everyone.
Oh my.
If disobedience to His Majesty is considered a crime punishable by death, well then, the only choice is to kill me.
Song of the Sea is an Irish animated film that has received wide praise. The film uses Celtic mythology to tell of the love of siblings working together to find their way home, all while learning more about their deceased mother.
Those stories that Mum told me, they're all true. Are you really a Selkie?
Those are the animated feature films. For Ignite Entertainment, I'm Kyle Williamson.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and every year is the same. Stay at home, feel bad about being single, and get far too much discount chocolate the day after. Guess it's not that bad, really. If you're single and don't really care about all that romance stuff, here are 5 single-player video games to keep you occupied. Let's start off with something a little unknown. Blast Corps is a third-person demolition simulator for the Nintendo 64. You play as a construction worker who needs to clear a path for a truck carrying a nuclear warhead. If you don't, you won't like what happens. Initially, you use standard demolition equipment like bulldozers and dump trucks, but later, you man massive rocket-powered mechs and robots that ground pound or roll over the buildings and factories in the way. There are dozens of different vehicles to drive, hidden levels, and a secret backstory to complete. Overall, even though the game is 18 years old, it's still a lot of fun.
Not a scratch on it. You're just trying to impress me.
Hitman Absolution is the newest addition to the venerable third-person stealth and assassination series. You play as Agent 47, a cold-blooded killer who is sent to kill his former mission briefer, Diana Burnwood. After you complete the job, you see there's more at stake here, decide to take matters into your own hands and go rogue. The game revolves around assassinating discreetly. You do have the choice of going in guns blazing, but the game is much more entertaining if you plan your route carefully and patiently wait for your time to strike. Compared to older Hitman games, Absolution gives you more unique ways to kill your targets. The game does hold your hand more than the others, but what you lose in discovering ways to beat a level without help, you gain in a good story, fascinating ways to end your fellow man or woman's life, and much more fluent controls. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is one of the most fun multiplayer games, which is just as fun when you're by yourself. You play as one of the many factions in the Star Wars universe and battle on the countless planets and locations featured in the movies. You can play through the story behind the rise of the Imperial Empire, conduct a galactic conquest, or just get into an instant action session and do whatever you feel like. Capture flags, hunt down local wildlife, or have a massive all-out battle between all the heroes and villains in the Star Wars universe. The game is fast-paced, rewarding, and honestly one of the best Star Wars games out there.
Bring 'em on!
Fallout New Vegas is one of the best role-playing games ever. Set in the apocalyptic Mojave Desert, you travel the landscape doing the usual RPG thing. Complete quests, hoard loot, and murder countless bandits and local mutated wildlife. You play as the courier, a person who is supposed to deliver an important chip to the owner of the newly created city, New Vegas. You are shot and left for dead by a competing casino owner, Benny. When you are saved by a wandering robot, you begin your quest for revenge by traveling to the grand city of New Vegas. Along the way, you meet prisoners who broke free from their captors, giant radioactive geckos, and an army of men who call themselves Caesar's Legion. Or is it Kaiser's Legion? I don't know. Some say one, others say another. Overall, New Vegas is probably the best installment of the post-apocalyptic role-playing series and will definitely occupy your time. Skyrim is the 5th installment to the long-standing Elder Scrolls series. You play as the Dragonborn, a man, or cat, or lizard? Your choice. Capable of speaking the ancient language of the dragon. The game is set in the province of Skyrim, the northernmost province in the fictional land of Tamriel. The landscape is cold, unforgiving, and filled with countless bandits, feral wildlife, and dragons. Similar to Fallout New Vegas, you complete quests which give you experience, money, or equipment. The thing about role-playing games like Fallout or Skyrim is that you get really absorbed into it. Sure, you can complete the main storyline in less than 7 minutes, but look, there's a man who needs me to fetch a sword from a cave. Sure, I'll go there. Oh, look, another person needs my help. Maybe I need to grind my skills for a bit before I do that one. 100 hours later, and you haven't even finished the first story quest. Hopefully, these will occupy your time on these cold, lonely nights. See you next time.
And they're the most resilient, high-character bunch that I've ever coached in 25 years of basketball.
The Mohawk women's varsity basketball team took down the Sheridan Bruins with a 74-63 win. Guard Jenjena Bella led the team with 23 points and 8 assists, while guard Steph Rymack scored 14 points and had 4 steals. Guard Brittany Gazzola had 8 points and 3 rebounds, and forward Kaylin Arbor scored 6 points and had 5 rebounds. The first half started off slow and was constantly back and forth. The Lady Mountaineers left the first half with Sheridan up 38-32. During the second half, they made some adjustments to their offensive play.
We were just very slow. We made a few adjustments in our offense. We went more to our man sets against their zone, which was good because it got our feet moving instead of standing around, and that gave us some better looks that we were able to make.
Head coach Kevin Duffy believes that Abella played a big part in keeping the Bruins on their toes and eventually surpassing them on the scoreboard.
We wouldn't be nowhere in the game if it wasn't for her in the first half. She did hit some big shots for us. And, that's the kind of player she is. I've said it before, she wants the ball in tough situations. She's a nightmare to guard defensively because she's a really tough matchup because she has such a wide skill set. And, she really helped us, like I said, especially in that third quarter, give us the push to get the ball rolling for us.
It was very rough at the start, but once we started to push the ball and transition, we started to get open shots.
The Lady Mountaineers will be working on transitioning, boxing out, and moving their plays before their next game. They'll be playing their last game of the season against Humber on Friday, February 20th in the D-Bark. Reporting for Ignite Sports, I'm Carlin McGill.
The Mohawk men's basketball team earned their 8th straight league win after dominating the visiting Sheridan Bruins 110-82. The victory improves the men's record to 15-2, enough for second place in the West Division. It was a sluggish start for the Mountaineers, who finished the first half down 43-42. Matt Savell was an offensive buoy for the squad throughout the first and kept Mohawk in the game for the first half. Savell finished with 22 points and 7 assists. In the second half, the Mountaineers turned up the tempo and took complete control of the game. Lamar Barr led the second half charge by adding 12 of his 14 points to start out the third quarter, going 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
We just needed energy, We just needed to come out third quarter, just energy. That's what we emphasized in the change room. So yeah, we came out hard and played good D, got out in transition, and yeah, we just prevailed.
Matt Fennell contributed 31 points while pulling down 7 rebounds, and Andrew Cicatini added another impressive double-double performance, throwing in 17 points and grabbing 15 boards. Mohawk will finish the regular season at home against the Humber Hawks in a battle for first place. The winner of this game will enter playoffs as the top seed in the West.
Humber's tough, really tough. They're big, they're physical, they defend very well, and we're going to just have to play our game. We've obviously played very well at home here, and we'll have to take that into next week, and it's an opportunity still to finish first.
Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Sean Maranka.
Hi, my name's Brian Jonker. I'm the head coach of the Mohawk Mountaineers men's basketball team. I've been the head coach here for the last 10 seasons. It's a long process to get to the national championships. Obviously, we know we're going to be there because of our hosting, but to put a team together that's able to compete at that level, it's been about a 5-year process. The most important thing I look for when we go out to talk to recruits and young basketball players, we look for people who are going to interact with their teammates well, who are going to play well together with other people, and have a positive attitude regardless of the situation. Well, my job is to clearly establish roles within the group, to build and foster camaraderie between the group, and to hopefully get people playing their best within the team concept at the right time of the year, which will be in March. My name is Brian Jonker, and this is my road to the championship. Watch us, the Mohawk Mountaineer men's basketball team, make history this March, playing at home for the national championship in the David Braley Center.
Hello, my name is Matt Fennell. I'm from London, Ontario. I play shooting guard for the Mohawk Mountaineers. My journey to get to the championships was started when I was 4 years old. Just love of the game, had 4 older brothers. From then, went to public school, played a little bit in public school. Then when I got into high school, I actually got cut in grade 9, and then grade 10, worked on my game, and then became really serious. And then, after that, I went to Fanshawe, and then went out east to UPEI, and then now I'm here at Mohawk. I have always played at my current position ever since I was a kid. I was never the tallest or the shortest. I was kind of in between. The one piece of advice I'd give is never give up on your dreams. If you have a goal, chase it. Don't let anyone to doubt or say anything to you about it. Just go out and work hard every day, put up extra shots, and yeah. My name is Matt Fennell, and this is my road to the championships. Watch the Mountaineers make Mohawk history this March at the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center.